Wheelguns chambered in 9mm aren't some dusty museum pieces. They're compact powerhouses with moon clips, tight tolerances, and enough attitude to make striker-fired plastic look like a toy. Built for real-world carry, these snubbies slip into a hoodie pocket, ride on the ankle, or vanish under a flannel without printing or whining about limp wristing. They kick like a mule if you don't grip right, but hit harder than your average Tupperware pistol when it counts. We're talking forged steel, tuned triggers, and the kind of no BS reliability that turns heads at the range and ends nonsense in the alley. Some of these carry 6 or even 7 rounds of hot 9mm, reload in a blink with moon clips, and shoot flatter than most folks expect. Forget your cousin's busted Taurus from '03, this list is stacked with revolvers that run clean, ride light, and hold their own against any EDC rig out there. If you're looking for a daily carry that still runs when your hands are slick, your nerves are fried, and there's zero room for mistakes, then you've come to the right guy. Because we're diving straight into the top 10 9mm revolvers built for everyday carry. Some guns just radiate grown man energy, and the Kimber K6 9mm fits that bill to a T. No plastic feel, no rattles, just solid stainless steel, 6 shots, and a build that screams quality. It's compact with a 2-inch barrel and weighs about 23 ounces, balancing carry comfort with enough heft to tame recoil. The double-action only trigger is butter smooth, no grit, no stacking, just a clean roll every time. Real sights on a snub nose? Yep, and they actually work. The whole frame feels serious, like it was made for folks who run their gear hard, not just pose with it. Sure, it's priced like a premium piece because that's exactly what it is. You're getting tight tolerances, clean machining, and real-deal reliability. Kimber didn't build this to be cute. They built it for shooters who expect performance out of their carry gun. What really puts it over the top is how shootable it is. The weight controls muzzle rise, and the grips give you a locked-in hold even with hotter plus P loads. It's quick to recover and delivers accurate follow-ups. The K6 doesn't follow trends, it just shows up and works. Built with purpose, designed for daily carry, and trusted by folks who don't play games when it comes to self-defense. It's not just a looker, it's a fighter. A damn fine revolver that earns its place on this list every time it clears leather. Here's the kind of revolver that doesn't show up in polished ads or gun counter brag sessions, but still walks the walk when things get spicy. The Diamondback SDR 9mm is basic in the best way. 5 rounds, 2-inch barrel, under 22 ounces, and built like it's ready to ride daily without needing special treatment. Its finish is no-nonsense matte, rugged, and ready for real-world carry. The rubber grip gives solid traction, especially when you're sweating bullets or wearing gloves. Sights are straightforward but better than expected for something at this price point. The action feels tight enough to give you confidence, and the trigger pull comes in cleaner than folks expect from a budget-tier revolver. That's where this one really earns points shooting. It doesn't feel like a compromise. It snaps back just enough to remind you it's 9mm, but not so much that you're flinching every round. One neat feature here is the ability to swap cylinders, run 9mm today, drop in a 38 special setup tomorrow. That kind of modularity in a revolver under the radar is rare, and it makes the SDR more versatile than most give it credit for. It's the kind of gun that just blends into your kit. You forget it's there until you need it, and when you do, it performs like something that should cost twice as much. That, right there, is why it earns a solid spot on this list. It's a sleeper that deserves more street credit than it gets. Rolling into the list like a steel-fisted bouncer at a dive bar, the Alfa Proj 9231 is all business with zero hype. Born in the Czech Republic and built with the kind of stubborn reliability you'd expect from Eastern Europe, this 6-shot 9mm revolver isn't trying to be trendy. It's here to do the job. The 3-inch barrel gives it better ballistics than most snubs, while the 30-ounce weight keeps recoil manageable, even with plus P ammo. It's got a double-action, single-action trigger setup, which means you can run it heavy and safe, or thumb that hammer back and squeeze off crisp single-action shots like you're on the range. Build quality feels like something you'd find bolted onto a Cold War tank. Timing is tight, cylinder lockup is dead on, and the grip fits just right in most medium to large hands. Reloads are a breeze with moon clips, and the overall feel in hand is stable. balanced, and confidence-inspiring. This one flies way under the radar in the States, but the guys who found one and run it will tell you it's built to fight, not just collect dust in a safe. And if you like your carry piece to have a little personality without sacrificing performance, the 9231 hits that sweet spot between unique and useful. It's also one of the few revolvers in this caliber and size that still gives you that old-school revolver feel without feeling outdated. Every time you cock the hammer or roll that cylinder, it's like hearing an old diesel engine fire up raw, mechanical, and honest. This isn't just a tool. It's a reliable companion that's ready to ride shotgun for years to come. Taurus doesn't always get love from the gun snobs, but every now and then, they drop something that makes even the loudest skeptics shut their mouths. The 692 is one of those moments. This thing is a 6-round double-action revolver chambered in .357 Magnum. But here's the trick. It ships with a second cylinder for 9mm. Yep, 2 calibers, 1 frame, full flex. With a 3-inch barrel and overall weight tipping just over 35 ounces. It's not what you'd call compact, but for folks who want more control, more punch, and more versatility, it checks the boxes. The grip is beefy, but ergonomic. The rubber texture gives great traction, and the ported barrel helps keep muzzle rise in check, especially when you're running hot loads. This one isn't just a range toy. The cylinder swap is toolless and quick, and that alone makes it stand out. You can train with cheap 9mm, then carry .357 if you need more punch or stick to 1 caliber if that's more your style. It gives you options, and when you're carrying daily, that kind of flexibility is gold. Accuracy is solid, 2 better than expected. Actually, I've seen guys shoot 1-inch groups at 10 yards with the 9mm cylinder and decent factory ammo. That's no joke from a revolver at this size and price point. The 692 might not look flashy, and no, it doesn't carry the cachet of Colt or Smith, but it runs hard and shoots straight. And when you're out there living real life instead of scrolling forums, that's what actually matters. You won't find this one being passed around on tactical YouTube reviews or getting worshipped on gun forums, but if you're looking for a no-nonsense, all-steel revolver that eats 9mm and doesn't whine about it, the Rock Island AL 9.0 deserves a long look. It's one of those underdog guns that skips the hype and just does the work. This thing runs 6 shots through a 4-inch barrel, and while that makes it the longest barrel on our list so far, it actually balances surprisingly well. At 2.5 pounds loaded, it's not exactly featherweight, but it handles recoil like a champ and makes follow-up shots almost laughably easy. Especially with 9mm, the weight actually helps you feel like you're shooting a .22 with attitude. The trigger is better than expected for a gun in this price range, smooth enough in double action, and crisp in single. The grip is chunky but fits the hand well, and while the finish isn't going to win any awards, it's tough, practical, and built to last. Think more beat cop sidearm than showcase queen. And that's a compliment. Moon clips work just fine, and loading is smooth if you're not using garbage-tier ammo. It eats everything from steel case bulk to +P carry loads without complaint. What you're getting here is reliability, plain and simple. The AL 9.0 isn't fancy. It's not high speed, low drag, but it's built to shoot, train, and protect. And if you need something tough that won't empty your wallet or crap out after 500 rounds, this one's your guy. All right, let's crank up the weird dial. The Chiappa Rhino 200DS doesn't look like any other revolver on this list, and that's because it's not trying to. It's a 2-inch barreled, 6-shot revolver chambered in 9mm that's built like it came out of a sci-fi flick. But under the wild styling is some seriously smart engineering that changes how this thing shoots, carries, and handles recoil. The key feature here is the low-bore axis. Unlike traditional revolvers where the barrel sits higher than your hand, the Rhino fires from the bottom chamber. That drops the muzzle right into your wrist line, reducing muzzle flip to almost nothing. It's not just a gimmick, it's noticeably easier to control, especially for fast double-action strings. Weighing just under 25 ounces, the Rhino carries surprisingly light for its size, and the flat-sided frame tucks in nicely against the body. It's unconventional, but it disappears under a t-shirt better than a lot of slim semis out there. The trigger is unique. It feels more like a double-action semi-pull than a revolver, but once you get used to it, it's consistent and predictable. Some folks hate the looks. Some love them. But nobody denies that the Rhino shoots soft. I've watched brand new shooters run this thing with zero flinch, which says a lot. Chiappa built it different on purpose and they pulled it off. It's not cheap, and yeah, some parts are proprietary, but if you want something that breaks the mold and actually performs, this revolver earns its rep the loud way. If Frankenstein had a favorite revolver, it might be the Charter Arms Pitbull 9mm. It looks classic at first glance, but underneath that old-school frame is some wild engineering. No moon clips. Let me repeat that. This revolver runs 9mm rimless ammo without moon clips. That's like finding a unicorn that reloads itself. Charter Arms built an extractor system with spring-loaded teeth that hold the 9mm rounds in place, which means no fumbling with moon clips, no bending them, no cussing when you drop one on gravel. Just load up and go. That alone makes this wheel gun stand out, especially for folks who don't want to mess with extra gear. We're talking 5-round capacity, 2.2-inch barrel, and a weight around 22 ounces. That's not the lightest gun in the lineup, but it's definitely manageable for daily carry, especially with a good IWB holster. The grip is big enough to get a full hand on, which helps with control. It's got more bulk than something like the Ruger LCR, but that extra size actually tames recoil decently well. No one's grabbing this snub to impress at the bullseye lane. It was made to put rounds where they count, under pressure, in tight spaces, with no room for second guessing. That's the role it fills, and it does it well. What you've got here is a revolver built for simplicity, rugged carry, and real-world practicality. It doesn't need accessories, doesn't care about your brand loyalty, and just wants to be carried every day and trusted when the chips are down. The Pitbull won't win a beauty contest, but when it comes to functional EDC with rimless ammo, it absolutely mauls the competition. And for that, it sinks its teeth into a well-deserved top 5 spot. All right, we're officially in big dog territory now. The next 3 wheel guns ain't just carry options, they're fight stoppers with street cred. These are the revolvers that make grown men grin, range officers raise eyebrows, and bad decisions get corrected real quick. We're talking battle-ready triggers, moon clip reloads faster than a sneeze, and rugged frames that don't flinch under pressure. If the bottom half of the list had style, this top 3's bringing the smoke. So tighten that belt, check your holster, and let's dive into the heavy hitters that separate the weekend carriers from the ones who walk ready every damn day. There's something satisfying about a gun that just shows up, does its job, and doesn't need a hype team behind it. The Taurus 905 fits that description to a T. It's compact, it's chambered in 9mm, and it was clearly built with everyday carry in mind. This thing holds 5 rounds in a solid steel frame with a 2-inch barrel and tips the scales right around 22 ounces, just heavy enough to help with control, just light enough to carry all day. The double-action-only trigger isn't fancy, but it's consistent. Pull after pull, it stays in that reliable zone where you're not fighting the gun or guessing what it's going to do. Taurus included a full rubber grip that helps with control during quick strings, and while the frame is small, it doesn't feel like it's trying to disappear in your hand. You can get a full grip on it, and that counts when the adrenaline spikes. It uses moon clips, and once you get the rhythm down, reloads are fast and smooth. The recoil with standard 124 grain loads is noticeable, but entirely manageable. You'll feel it, but it won't beat you up. It tracks straight, and with decent ammo, it'll hold solid groups at typical defensive distances without requiring Olympic-level grip strength. The 905 earns its place because it delivers dependable performance in a platform that's simple, budget-friendly, and proven on the street. There's no need for it to be flashy or overbuilt. This revolver does what a carry gun should: go bang when it matters, and stay out of your way the rest of the time. Now we're stepping into high-performance territory, and this bad boy brings the heat. The Smith & Wesson Performance Center 986 is built for shooters who demand both elegance and function. Chambered in 9mm with a 7-round capacity, it gives you one more than most wheel guns, and trust me, that extra round matters when stuff hits the fan. It's got a 2.5-inch barrel, stainless steel frame, titanium cylinder, and an overall weight around 31 ounces. That may sound hefty, but the balance is spot on. The trigger is tuned by Smith & Wesson's Performance Center crew, which means it's smoother than jazz on a Sunday morning. The double-action pull is clean and consistent all the way through, while the single-action break feels sharp and immediate, like snapping into a cold piece of bacon with a clean bite. The grips feel planted and secure even for folks with meat-hook hands. Sights are excellent right out of the box, and the 986 flat-out shoots better than any revolver has the right to. Groupings at 10 yards are almost boring. They're that tight. This ain't just a carry gun. It's a damn competition-level blaster you can still tuck under a hoodie. Moon clips feed it, and the reloads are slick. You'll need to practice a little, but once you get that motion down, it's faster than most striker-fired reloads under pressure. I've seen guys run sub-3-second reloads from concealment with this revolver. It's that good. The 986 is expensive, but if you want the best of the best snubby 9mm revolver with extra capacity, match-grade trigger, and build quality that laughs in the face of abuse, this one's your huckleberry. Easily top 2 hell. On another day, it might have taken number 1. And here it is, the top dog. The Ruger LCR 9mm takes the crown because it nails what an EDC revolver should be. Lightweight, tough, easy to carry, and fast on the draw. This little beast weighs just 17.2 ounces thanks to its polymer and aluminum construction. It holds 5 rounds of 9mm and runs on moon clips, giving you fast reloads if you train right. The barrel is just under 2 inches, but don't let the size fool you. It's got bite, especially with plus P loads. Recoil is snappy. Sure, but the Hogue Tamer grip helps tame it, and the cam-driven trigger system is one of the best out there in a production double-action-only revolver. Designed for the kind of days when nothing goes smooth, the Ruger LCR 9mm was made to ride close, take hits, and keep running without asking questions, handle the chaos, the sweat, and the adrenaline without missing a beat. When the pressure's on and fine motor skills go out the window, all that matters is grip, control, and dependable ignition every time that trigger's pulled. What sets the LCR apart is how seamlessly it fits into real daily use. It draws fast, tracks naturally, and stays flat enough for solid follow-up shots. The trigger breaks clean, reloads with moon clips are quick with practice, and it handles a wide range of ammo without choking. It rides light, carries deep, and functions without complaint day in, day out. That's what puts it at the top of this list. The LCR doesn't need to be flashy or overbuilt. It just needs to perform under pressure, and that's exactly what it does. Every single time. Every revolver on this list earned its slot the hard way through real-world function, not just fancy brochures or internet fanfare. These aren't safe queens or collector flex pieces, they're tools, built for the kind of carry that happens when the weather's crap. Your nerves are shot, and you need something that works with zero excuses. Each of these 9mm wheel guns brings something different to the table. Some pack more rounds, some hide better, some punch harder, and some reload faster than your cousin with a Red Bull and a speed strip. It's not about picking the prettiest. It's about choosing the one that fits your life, your draw, your mission. There's no warning bell when real danger shows up. So when you reach for steel, which one's already on your belt? Tell me your choice. Don't carry just any gun, carry the one that carries your ass back home.